Real short and simple, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be reacting to a lot of FC26 leaks, stuff about game modes, stuff about length of weekend league, pretty much anything and everything. I've pulled up kind of the most important 10 that I have seen. These really have not been, included in the gameplay update. And if you want to watch my reaction to the gameplay stuff that EA is talking about from FC26, that video was out yesterday. We've got a ton of FC26 news. I'm posting this video now. And then after this, guys, I'm not going to really post much on FC26 because I think we're only going to know this much until the Ultimate Team reveal, which is, I think, August 15th. August 15th. I'm also excited to see the career mode reveal, guys. I'm planning this year on actually doing career mode on this channel. We're going to run a career mode in the first week of FIFA. So I am very excited for that as well, and I hope to have you guys a part of that. We're almost at 1 million subs as well, guys. So if you are new, drop a sub. All right, a lot of you guys aren't subbed. If you want to, go for it. And Rat to Glory is going to be on Sunday or Monday. I got to figure out what day. So we will have that. We'll have that. We'll do that for a few weeks with all the footy stuff as well. Then we'll learn more about FC26. We've got the new start of eFootball, which is in the middle of August. I feel like there's no off season on this channel or all these channels anymore, And I appreciate all you guys have been showing love on the football channel. So let's get into it, right? First of all, we are going to start with Jamie Foot Economist, who is actually, he did a stream with a creator yesterday. He used to be a content creator. He's been working at EA now. And basically, some account yesterday said, I'll be honest, I don't see a world where EA has a less power curve in FC26. They're giving us all icons on day one of FC26 and 6,000 FP. So he said they're lying to us. He quoted them, which, look, like this is very new for EA. And that's why, I feel like you guys gave me some stick on the video yesterday. You're like, oh, man, you fell for it again. You got sold on the new FC again. Guys, there's very rare times, bro, that I sit there and say, wow, this actually looks good from EA. Now, will the game probably still be below average next year? Absolutely. But to those people that were commenting that, I think you guys just want me to be negative 24/7. Guys, they spent 5 years making a game all realistic only to realize that certain people on YouTube who were calling them out were right the whole time. And so what did we get as the delivery for FC26? A lot of changes that we all asked for like years. They put it all into one update. So I was impressed and surprised by yesterday. Now, is it all words? Yeah, it might be, but it looks like they're at least going with that approach. And maybe it's the last time they can sell a game because maybe this is their like last chance. They know that this is the only way. We got to just beg to the community. But I'm hoping that's not the case, and I like the delivery of it a lot. So I stand on business. That's what I said in that video yesterday. The only thing I didn't like about yesterday was I don't like that they're making the goalkeepers better. But maybe that's a nerf for the game being way more attacking. I don't know. But if I get to a good angle, EA, I want to score. Now, let's get back to business. 3 minutes of yapping. We already got off topic. So Jamie, who works on the live content team, he says, one thing I want to clear up, since there's been some confusion. The icons included in the Ultimate Edition will be lower rated than their base version, similar to the Ultimate Edition heroes worked last year. Now, if you were around at the beginning of the year this year, that was when you had, I think I packed like Nor. There was a lot of players that, were in that were very low rated. And honestly, they weren't super crazy. So, look, that is a good thing. He also said regarding the 6,000 FIFA points, yes, it's more than 4,600 last year, and hopefully people are excited to have more to spend on things like the Premium Pass. That said, we expect the early cycle economy to be in a healthier place thanks to the staggered release. Instead of dropping all 4,600 points at launch, players are going to receive 2,000 with the rest coming later in the year. So, if you get 2,000 and the pass is, 500 or whatever it is, I think it's 500, you'll only have 1,500, and I guess use the rest on drafts or whatever. But maybe that's their way of kind of keeping people a little bit more in line of not having all that much to go through and grind like drafts like crazy. I don't know. But, reading this, I would say that the benefit I like is that, yes, guys, the icons are not going to be like the most insane players ever, and they're going to be lower rated. I am assuming EA is also looking at that as a way to make more money off every user, because you'll want to evo your icon throughout the year, and usually those will cost money with the way EA are doing this game. Okay, let's talk about the actual really exciting news. Apparently, this is coming out today. EA's top priority for FC26 is World Cup 2026. World Cup mode, World Cup promos. They're doing everything to get this done. I don't know how this works with licensing. I have no idea. Yeah, this would be the first FIFA that didn't have World Cup mode, because obviously it's FC and it's not FIFA World Cup. A lot of us forget that FIFA is different than UEFA, so they have to get the rights to this. Hopefully, it's not the first FC without it. I will always call it FIFA. So we will see. I'm going to call it FIFA until Gianni makes an actual FIFA 2K game. But it doesn't look like that's happening. He said it was going to be there. I don't think that's happening. I haven't seen anything about 2K doing that. Hopefully this does happen, guys. It's crazy to think as well, to get excited, that the World Cup is 11 months away from now. Like, dude, that is insane to think about. 11 months. 11 months. Crazy. Okay. I have one post here that I'm going to go in a second and look at. This is the distribution, apparently. You get the first 2,000 on September 19th. You get the second 2,000 on October 31st and then November 30th. So this is Black Friday promo or a little bit after. This is around like Halloween. For me, 4,800 day one, greater than 6,000. Yes, but I think what EA is trying to do here is control so that people don't get too much too quickly. That's, I think, what they're going for. These are what the menus look like next year. Nothing crazy, nothing too different. Old Gen is going to be the last cycle next year. Old Gen, I know in 2025, 2026 it will be. Old Gen is going to have its last cycle. So I guess if you have a PS4 or an old Xbox on FC27, it's chalked. Okay, next thing to talk about, tournaments are back. Guys, some of you have heard me talk about this. If you weren't around back in the day, okay? 4-round knockouts. You guys may have seen the DKT. Yes, this is AA9 skills, literally from like 10 years ago. This mode is amazing for trying out, different squads, and really the concept of the mode, it's 4 rounds. You had the gold tournament before. There was actually a silver tournament and a bronze tournament, I think. So there was 3 different ones back in the day. And it was nice, right? Because obviously, you could take in different squads. Even in the gold tournament, you would see people using different squads. And then sometimes there was like another tournament that would be out and it would have different bonuses. Usually the gold tournament, I think, had like 2,000 or 3,000 coins. It changed sometimes. This is obviously FIFA 15. I just pulled this up on YouTube because this was kind of the best I could find. Yeah, maybe it's nostalgic for you guys to see as well, but this is great because it's going to give you the ability to really just test out different teams in a mode that's not division rivals or weekend league, and it will have some incentive. There's going to be some coins, but it's not going to be a crazy amount. You don't have to pay for fitness anymore. So yeah, you could theoretically really grind out the tournaments, have some fun with the gameplay, use cards that you just want to use to play the game, and yeah, just get coins along the way. Now, what's even better about this, right? Not the fact that we just have a general tournament mode. EA have already said that there's going to be some differences in weekly tournaments. They've also said that there's this mode called Gauntlet. Now, this is a brand new mode, guys. We haven't really talked about this on this channel. This is going to be pretty much, if you're locking in for this video, the highlight of this video. Gauntlet mode is coming to FC26. It is going to be 5 games. You have to use new teams each game, and more wins is better rewards. So, to me, this sounds like a modified qualifiers. Qualifiers ended up being for weekend league, 5 games, right? You had to win 1. Obviously, the rewards for 4 wins, 5 wins were a little better, but nothing that anybody really ever played for. In the beginning, obviously, it was worthwhile because it was tradable packs. I think this sounds really fun as well. You have to use new teams each game. So if you have to play 5 games and you got to change your entire team every round, that actually sounds pretty good. That actually makes me think, wow, you might actually tactically keep some SBCs or players in your club throughout the year that you would normally submit because you're so focused about, you got to field 55 starting players that are different, and I'm assuming they're going to include the bench. So you guys do the numbers on that. That's a lot of different players that you would have to have. It says more wins is better rewards. I quite like this. I think this sounds good. This dude was saying more useless game modes. If this replaces draft and huge W, this guy is saying this is so sad. Yeah, I will say this too. I was going to say this about the menus. They do look way worse. These menus, I got to be honest, there was something about the brightness of the menus. I don't know. Even FIFA 20, because I was looking at my old Rats of Glory, I feel like it does look a lot better. That's another discussion. But it sounds like this is going to be good for midweek stuff, right? You've got Rivals where you can go sweat. And it makes sense because we've heard now that apparently Rivals is going to require less wins. So it makes sense that now EA is adding a tournament mode where you can go in there every week and use different different squads in the way that, 4 rounds probably. You could use your South Korean team. You could use your USA team, whatever you want to use. You could use your Prem team, right? Doesn't matter. Maybe there's an entry for one mode. I would love to see if you're watching this video, I would love to see you guys bring back the silver mode, the bronze mode, and, just change the rewards here and then. Maybe one week it's 3,000 coins. Maybe the next week it's a tradable chem style pack. I don't know what it is to start off the game, but just have it feel like a little new every week that there's something else you could play for. and that you can constantly get the reward. Back in the day, if I wanted to go in the gold tournament and I wanted to win 3,000 coins if I won every time, it was repeatable. You could just play it as many times as possible, and there was a certain fun to that of just grinding the game, using different teams, not feeling that stress of like ultra sweaty rivals, ultra sweaty FUT champs. It's very hard to use certain players that are non-meta in those modes and still have fun. So I think a lot of this is being like really written under the radar, because I think a lot of the tournament mode, this idea of the gauntlet mode where, yeah, this sounds sweaty, but you have to use different teams every game. So if somebody pulls up with their insane starter team that's like, you know, one of the better Prem player teams they got, they still got to change that team for the next game or the next round. So I guess people that were good at the game, maybe tactically with this, would save their best team for like the last game if they had to get that max reward. Don't know what the rewards are going to look like, but I figured that was pretty interesting, guys. I want to point that one out. We have other things to talk about. Apparently, this is interesting. Rivals objectives. Completing set objectives will give extra rivals points. Less games required to reach enough for rewards. So, like, score 5 goals with La Liga players. So, I don't know how that's gonna work. Like, less, you would need to get less points. You would earn more points. I don't know. Official power curve is slowed down. Lower ratings. Okay. Now we will see when the ratings get leaked. We've heard this from a lot of sources. I haven't personally seen any EA employee or anybody confirm that the power curve is going to be lower. I hope so. All these accounts are saying less store packs, less SBCs, lower ratings to start, less promos. I haven't heard anything in the pitch notes. I haven't heard anything from EA. So until the Ultimate Team release, I'm not going to get too excited about this. If you guys were playing this game and the last few years, it's gotten out of control. It's like some new promo every week with 35 cards, new daily player SBC that like more than half of them are terrible, just so forced to just be daily content. There's 3 new $30 packs in the store every day. So like, look, I'm all for this. And you know, I think the base ratings, it could help if EA makes the base ratings lower. I feel like they just jumped way too high too quickly this year. So we will see. We will see how that goes. That's what a lot of the feedback has been given. And then look, this is surprising me a little bit. FUT Champs in FC26 is only 15 games. Playoffs are gone. Finals is 15. I remember playing 40 games. I thought they might make it 20. So I'm curious to see what EA is thinking of rewards-wise, because they still have a console. Like, and this is where I'm a little, like, concerned, right? All these creators just went to EA over the weekend. Guys, they did actually invite me. No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not going. So, like, what I'm concerned about is that all these creators went there and, like, I didn't see any interviews or any content or any questions answered about hackers. You know, like, that for me is a massive variable with FUT Champs. Like, is their solution to really just keep PC versus PC, because those hackers are going nowhere. And if FUT Champs Finals is still 15 games and you don't have that one game where you could get DC'd, or 3 games by a hacker, you might not even be able to get rank 1, rank 2. So I thought EA and FC26 might make it back to 20 games. I feel like 15 games, something about FUT Champs feels really like hollow. Like, it's not enough. It's not enough. There was something about 20 games back in the day, even 30, that was so special when you got to that max elo, and it was just like adrenaline, like crazy how many, you know, results you had to get and how perfect you had to be. And I do miss a part of that. Now, obviously, for people with jobs and, you know, people that are really busy, 15 games obviously is more than ideal. But I think what EA is probably thinking here, if they are keeping it 15, which this account reports, I think they're probably understanding that you're going to have this mode like Gauntlet, and they're going to maybe want you to, like, have the ability to play more in these tournaments and stuff like that. You know, that's my thought. Now, guys, I talked about a lot of gameplay stuff. That video is going to be linked at the end of this video. If you want to go watch that, go watch it. We talked about a lot. This was one of the best things that they did. AI players use a lot of fatigue. User control players will not feel the effects of fatigue. AI players will. So that was something that I really liked in terms of how the player is going to play at the end of the game. Your player will play to the stats if it's user controlled. That I liked. And where's the other thing that I was going to point out? I lost it. But one of these accounts, let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because this is kind of the last. This is kind of the last thing. Let me see if I can just keyword search it, because I saw this. Damn. Oh, here we go. This is an actual clip from an EA employee, okay? So I'm going to put my headphones on. This is from Nate Foot Accountant Stream and Jamie Foot Economist. So let's watch this.
What you can expect is some adjustments that we'll make to the actual rewards throughout the live service. Okay. So the rewards at launch are going to be like essentially very similar to what they were in FC25, but you can expect us to give a little bit more love to the rewards post launch.
Okay, that's what was apparently being said. I didn't hear anything about draft in that specific cutoff clip. But all these accounts are reporting that EA is going to buff draft rewards. So that's what I saw. I had something pulled up. I don't have it anymore, but one account was saying that. Guys, at the end of the day, I've tried to pull up what I think makes the most sense out of all these accounts. You got to understand a lot of these accounts are just posting for interactions. So sometimes they'll get stuff wrong and they'll just be trying to post and leak new stuff, but it's not necessarily true. They take it out of context. I have been asking for draft rewards to get improved. Hopefully they do. Guys, draft really, since it was introduced in FIFA 15, EA haven't done anything to FUT draft. So at least some effort of monthly, like, changing the rewards, updating it, doing some cool stuff, maybe putting like some promo packs as a chance if you won in FUT draft. Like, that's all good ideas. Let's see if we get stuff like that. Guys, that's really all I wanted to kind of clock in with you guys tonight. Nothing crazy, but we have a lot of, new information, like Gauntlet is new, tournaments coming back, obviously. We had news on the FUT Champ stuff, so this is just some more information. I'm giving you guys a reaction. All good stuff, and yeah, nothing crazy, but that's my reaction. Peace.